Happy Sunday, and Dave, as you mentioned, it's a little it's a little rainy out there, to say the least. Dave, let's go ahead and take a look right away at what we have going on today at the races.
Yeah, it looks like the rain stopped a little bit there, right?
It
So
has.
like a total of almost 2 inches, I think, expected in the area through early tomorrow morning. Started this morning, it was pretty heavy, kind of slacked up a little bit. The good news, Callie, is the wind is going to pick up only late tonight after we finish the card, so we can get away with just rain and a sloppy track, and hopefully I think that heavy gusty wind is going to hold off until past 7 o'clock this evening.
And there we have it. So let's go ahead and start things off with today's card, kicking off that early pick 5 in a starter optional 20,000, going 7 furlongs on the dirt for the girls 3 and up scratch, and the 4 Isabella's Glory. You have the number 5 on top. Click to confirm for Jamie Ness, J. Ron Barbosa, 3 for 5 in the money on a wet dirt.
Yeah, one of a couple of horses Ness is bringing back today. This one claimed January 7th, has been off ever since. Latest work on December 9th, a little gap in the works there in November, but this is a tonalist filly. Tonalist was 2 for 2 on a wet track in his career, the sire, and she's had some good numbers against better company, I think. She could be wound up like a clock today for speed, or at least forwardly placed in this spot off a time away from the races. I kind of like her at a price today in a short field, and looking at your picks, my picks all day long,
Yes.
we're kind of all over the map, even though we have kind of smaller fields on the sloppy track. So it looks like a challenging handicapping card coming into Sunday here at Laurel Park. Click to confirm. First time off the layoff from a good barn into another solid barn as well. The 1, Royal Whisper, you got in the mix too. We have some video of Royal Whisper coming back first off the claim, where trainer David Howard finished 3rd to anonymously in Brazina. Late run, the comment was reserved early, taken 4 wide at the 5/16, as you'll see, and then with an outside finish in the black silks outside, comes rolling late to pick up 3rd. Can be a little more forwardly placed. She can if she breaks well from the gate. She's had a few issues at the starting gate, hesitating at the break, steadied at the start, hesitated again way back in May at Pimlico. So break is the key here for Royal Whisper. If she breaks pretty sharp, she's going to be very, very tough in this spot. Number 3, Utterly Enchanting. Another horse has kept good company. Finished 3rd, stakes place to Intrepid Daydream and the restricted Politely stakes last time out. A good claim there for a nickel. Has been just a check getter picked up a check every start since the claim for Carlos Mencia, owner Michael Sheffries, and again, a stakes placing just a little icing on the cake behind a 7-time winner and a multiple stakes winner, Intrepid Daydream last time out. 5-1, 3 and 2 Mystic Seaport. Your top pick is a 7-5 morning line favorite, and that's what the click is right now, with very little money in the pool at the 56 minutes to post time. Yeah, she's a likely favorite, Callie.
Sure.
Yep.
Sure. Let's go ahead to race at number 2. David, that starts your early pick 4, of course, and let's take a look at what your legs look like in this ticket.
All right, well, I was really confident in that $18 ticket yesterday and got nothing. Was out after the first leg, but today we're only going $6 and I'm going to single in the 5th race with the 1. We're starting off in the 2nd race with a couple of runners here. The Speed of Thunder Buggy, the closer of a bit here, and Viking Queen. I think these are 2 tough fillies mares to beat in there. 3rd race, a little deeper. Oh, it's a 6-horse field using Jolly by Golly. Good long shot play today. Number 5, Agana Messi Puedas for Claudio Gonzalez, who's the 9-5 favorite on the morning line. And Storming Chrome first off the claim for trainer Daniel McKenzie in the 4th race. Going to use What's Your Big Idea from the Lacey Gaudette barn, putting the blinks on today. You're looking at last race, she kind of lugged in a little bit after a solid score, maybe to keep her mind on business today. It was a decent field too. She wasn't beaten far. And then Blom, number 4 here for Mariah Montoya. Should be a decent price, but takes a big class drop, class relief today, I think. And in the 5th race, number 1, Spicy Margarita. Is she the speed of the speed? But there's other reasons to like her too. We'll get into when we get to race 5. So 4-5, 2-5, 6, 3, 4, 1.
such an easy playable ticket here that Dave Rodman is giving you a lot of value. And like I said, it's $6, easy play there. And it starts in this first leg in this claiming 5,000 for the girls 3 and up, going a mile on the dirt. Scratching the 2 Beautiful Star, you have the number 5 Viking Queen for Andrea Garibay and Raul Mena taking the call on this one. Comes back to this, not this distance, stretching out today.
Yeah, last out was 5th, and the race won by Fool Yourself, who did disappoint the other day, but was 4 wide on the turn, got caught in I think, a chase of a pace scramble that day. Or a lot of horses that kind of wanted the lead in the opening quarter mile. This mare was just behind the lead and then tried to kick in, just kind of finished evenly. But she beat the speed of the race, or it seems to be the speed today, in number 4, Thunder Buggy, 2 races back. So I'm anticipating that Thunder Buggy is going to flash that early speed, try to take them all the way, and she certainly can do it in the spot for Victor Carrasco there and trainer Antonio Machado. So she looks to be the speed, perhaps, of the speed in this spot. Red, White, and Tacos has been on the lead before. I don't think she's fast that early. Pounding Music coming off of Turf. Viking Queen off the pace type runner. Irish Lace, same. Merger of Equals has a lot of early foot, and Red Wind certainly doesn't have early quarter and half mile speed as well. So I'm very afraid here of Thunder Buggy to try to take them all the way. 1 with a 5 on top. 3, Pounding Music. That's your top pick, Callie. I guess maybe you can like her if you take a leap of faith that those turf numbers are going to translate.
Right.
And you know, I'm a little bit afraid that she's gonna beat me here right off the bat. So tossing her in the ticket wouldn't cost you much, but she won't be much of a prize.
No, she won't be. And if she can transfer that good turf win that she had a couple of starts back, absolutely something to just be aware of there. As Dave, as you go 5, 4, 3, 6 in race number 2. Race number 3 is a claiming 25,000 for the 3-year-olds and upwards, which have never won 2. Also starts the Rainbow Pick 6. Just taking a quick look at my structure of a ticket. I go 2 deep in races 3, 4, and 7. And race number 5, I go a little bit wide. In race number 6, that's where I kind of settle on my single and oxide. You could go a little bit wider, but that was the strongest potential single within that field that I felt for today's card. In race number 7, race number 8, mighty interesting, a 4, 5, 6, 8, but we've got some fun stuff coming up here. $25.60 ticket, but let's talk about race number 3. As I mentioned, a claiming 25,000 for the 3-year-olds and up, which have never won 2, going a mile and an eighth on the dirt. You have the number 6 on top, Dave. Storm and Chrome. This is in the barn of Daniel McKenzie, as you mentioned. It takes the blinkers off, puts Toledo on.
And the blinkers go on your top pick, number 4, Victor's Valiant.
Yes.
First time in the Lacey Gaudet barn. I think Victor's Valiant's going to use that early foot to try to make the lead in here. I'm hoping Storming Chrome with the change of blinkers off. I like that angle on a horse who sometimes plays forwardly. First time off the claim from Daniel McKenzie, can race forward and chase that speed. And the mile and an eighth will put Storming Chrome on top here with blinkers off first off the claim. Daniel McKenzie, he's done this before with Jevion Toledo. They're 2 for 4 together. Notice he reaches out for the leading rider here, tied for the leading rider Toledo with Storming Chrome. They've won before with Dancer's Melody off the claim, New York Panther off the claim. 9 claims recently for the McKenzie barn and a couple right off the bat into the winner's circle. Good company kept, I thought, though it was Penn National, 2 back behind Predominant, who's 3 for 21 lifetime and $107,000 in earnings. A little afraid of the 5, Agara Me Se Puedes, but his form speed-wise has been dull. I don't think he'll be near the pace of Victor's Valiant or Storming Chrome. And with a short field, I want somebody maybe a little forwardly placed too. Jolly by Golly was 7th last time out after dueling hard early on November 26th. A race eventually won by Martini Martin. We'll take a look at that horse a little later today. He's running later today in the 7th of the afternoon. That horse put up the best buyer figure of the afternoon by far.
Wow.
With an 81 number, and they did duel up front. Maybe Jolly by Golly can race forwardly and maybe not get involved so much in hot and heavy fractions. Speightster by Speightstown, off track, stretching out, never been on an off track before. Here we go, pedigree.
There we have it, 6-5-2-4 for Dave Rodman there in the start of the Rainbow Pick 6, and we go to race number 4, kicks off the late pick 5 in this, claiming 40,000 for the girls 3 and up, which have never won 2, going 6 furlongs on the dirt. No scratches here. You go with the number 4, Bloom from Mariah Montoya.
Yeah.
Victor Carrasco takes the call.
Yeah, I like this horse because I think she's getting class relief today. September to November, they brought it back here at Laurel Park. That was a much tougher field. Allowance A other than anonymously, won back-to-back as an 8-time winner, now dropping into non-winners of 2 at 6 furlongs. Big class relief. I think she'll be forward this afternoon. I like the class. And Mariah Montoya, a Parks-based trainer, has a positive return on investment, a positive ROI, shipping in here to Laurel Park. Not a big win percentage, but horses tend to win at decent prices to take home the cash. So Victor Carrasco has the mount on what is a class relief in here for number 4, Blofeld, Philly Bloom. 3, what's your big idea? We both have in the mix as well. We're going to take a look at the video there, September 29th. First time Lasix and beat Bondiva and Quiquai that day in a good-looking effort. Had a little trouble, bumped and steadied at the quarter pole, taken to the outside and surged on late. The horse has always had, what do you call those, like, is that a hood, right, Callie? With the,
yes.
Yeah, so gets blinkers on today in addition to the hood.
And the
Got everything,
shadow
the
roll.
shadow roll, the whole 9 yards.
We're just missing some cheek pieces there.
So yeah, I won't have to look at the silks, just look at the blinkers, the hood, and the shadow roll to identify what's your big idea. Who again, I thought ran a little awkwardly last time out, was 3 to 4 wide, kind of drifted in, maybe wanted to take a look at the other horse to the inside of her last time out, but putting the blinkers on, got the muss on, she'll have no excuse today to run a straight and steady course. She's by Great Notion, 18% off track. Come on, you got to use Great Notions on the wet track there. And number 6 is Tritone Gal. I don't know. She's a mare that I've been chasing back and forth. She had speed. She used to be a closer. She's made closing moves 5 deep. Then flattening out for the back of the track, but she's steady. She's a check getter and a danger in the spot. Cairo Prince there on the off-going in number 7. Your top pick is Classy Nancy. How can Ness have this horse ready after time away? That's the question. Second, Lasix and a layoff. Put her on Lasix back in January. Not seen since, but they don't give up on her. They put her in for a nice high tag today, so if you want her, you got to fork over the money.
Absolutely. So, and that's what kind of helps with that as well. Outside draw, coming back into the races after such a long layoff is going to make things very comfortable for this filly, who's done well on an off track. We just need to see better. And you go back to that last effort where she ran on a track with moisture. I think getting back to this 6 furlong distance is going to be a big plus for this filly today.
Yeah, she should be forward, not too far from the pace in all of her races, really, whether it's sprints or going that or the 2-turn mile there at Delaware race, taking off the turf. Even the 1-turn mile at Laurel, she's been fairly close to the pace.
4, 3, 6, 7 for Dave Rodman in the 4th. We will be right back to talk about the beginning of the late pick 4 in race number 5.
Thoroughbred Racing is taking vital steps to make our sports safer. These include the use of independent veterinarians, strict anti-doping and medication controls, and a single national authority empowered to create uniform standards and enforce reforms. With each step, more data is gathered, accountability demanded, and progress made as safety takes the lead. Visit ntra.com/safety for more.
As promised, we're back here in race number 5 and starting off the late pick 4 in a starter optional 12.5, going 3/4 of a mile on the dirt for the girls 3 and up. You have a spicy margarita. Need a little bit of spicy on a cloudy day today. Taking a look at that last effort.
Yeah, spicy margarita here, November the 24th. Breaking from post 9. That's the key to why I picked her today, because that was a really, really good kind of inside speed and rail day. Spicy margarita rallying there, the 8-horse, and digs in pretty tough in the end to try to make a comeback run. 2 races back, got in a bit of trouble, ducked in off slow, yet moved up to prompt the pace and dug in to finish second behind Mystic Seaport, who's going to go favored in today's opener. She's very quick, Collie, when she's right. You know, we've seen her run here in Maryland many times before. Is she as fast as Shine Like a Diamond, a horse that likes a wet track? 4 for 7 in the off-going, breaking 2 slots from the outside, the 3-horse for trainer Jamie Nuss. I think she is. It's just my opinion that she's a little bit faster with a sharp break from the gate. And I thought she was against kind of the grain last time out, breaking from post 9. She was guided toward the inside, but maybe just enough to cost her that half length as a beaten 1-2 favorite, and beaten by a horse who's won a lot of races there too, Coach Rules.
You also have the number 5, as you mentioned, the 1 and the 3 already in Matitude. 30-1 for Robbie Bales, Horacio Caramanos. When we switched over to a sloppy track, I also had to take a second look at this one as well.
Well, it's really done nothing in 2 races back, but drops in today. Came back from a long vacation against a speedy Paul Gibbonsi, and last out anonymously, who'd won 2 straight. That was the second consecutive win for anonymously. You see Royal Whisper in there is running in today's opener. The pretty quick Brazina as well. So dropping down today, if she's going to fire her best shot, it would be with the drop and third off the layoff. And if they do go a little crazy up front with Spicy Margarita, maybe Shine Like a Diamond, if she's fast enough to run with her. If they could do anything super special up front on the pace, maybe the old class of Matitude can sit right off of them this afternoon. And number 7 in here is Smooth Pebble. I just kind of threw in for an underneath horse. Don't really have much to say about that horse. But you like Shine Like a Diamond, and why not, right? 4-time off-track winner.
She's hard not to like. And, you know, I've been fighting for this filly to just sit right off of the pace, but clearly just get into the lead works for her. Her gate speed has been strong enough in these last wins, more so during the summer. But it'll be interesting to see between those 2 fillies, between your top selection and my top selection, it's going to be really a battle in that first opening quarter that's going to make, I think, the biggest difference here.
Also, you know, we'll have a good idea of how the track's playing by the 5th race, right? On this sloppy going, is it going to be speed more of the outside pass, speed inside? Speed in general is a good thing to have, right?
Right, but they're both still relatively on the inside anyway. So it's just the fact that the outside, there's really no strong. There's outside speed and Matitude, but it's not. Matitude has to, really bring things around. I mean, Watch Your Tone is something, is outside speed. So really, you said it, Dave, pay attention on how the track is going. By race number 5, we should have a good idea of which paths across that track are going to be best suited for today.
But don't let the bias get you. Like the late, great Tom Sweeney said, my old boss at Louisiana Downs, the bias exists only in the press box.
There we go. Anyway, I love that. As we go ahead to race number 6 in that jackpot super high 5 race, in a claiming 5,000, going a mile on the dirt for the 3-year-olds and up. No scratches here. We're taking a look at your top selection. Remembering Wilbur, Rudy Sanchez Salomon, Jamie attracts the ride of Jamie Rodriguez here.
Well, December 1st was well beaten by Rominski in a tougher field. Comes back to the nickel today. Has had success at this level, and that was a big speed day. Remembering Wilbur over Rominski won. Just really didn't have much shot at there at 23-1. But you see 3 back. Ran behind Ekati's Verve. Ekati's Verve's next 2 starts, 72-74 buyers for starter allowance 5,000. And one of those 2 starts, of course, was a win yesterday afternoon here at Laurel Park. Another good score for Ekati's Verve. So wet track 0-for-2, but those races were Charlestown. I don't know. So I wouldn't put much stock in the 0-for-2 wet going here for Remembering Wilbur. They weren't at Laurel. I think a little bit of a difference, maybe. And that was quite a while ago, right? When Remembering Wilbur may not have been in the form that he's been in most recent times.
And to kind of take that note, that's what I was kind of looking at. I said, hey, maybe some of these horses aren't quite so strong on the, on the wet, but you have to go back to find those wet races, and you have to play by what's in form. And I think you hit the nail on the head that, just a tough going last time out, but much better spot, much better situation.
Well, here's Ekati's Verve, who beat Oxide, I'm in second there, and your top pick.
Sure.
There's that same running line. Made a nice move, but kind of flattened out the late, going 7 furlongs. Now going the mile maybe a little bit kinder. He's got a lot of back class. That's the definite.
It is a definite. It's interesting because in the past, Gaudet has done trainer scratch on this horse on a wet fast. Where that if you see a wet fast and a trainer scratch, it's most likely because of the surface. They kind of get a little bit of a bye that way when they do make the scratches. So to me, it's just interesting. But I say, hey, let's go with it. So
Eddie the Great. I mean, I considered that horse a little bit. Was fifth, beaten 4 lengths. Kind of made a move on the outside last time out after breaking a stet slow, but had to come out 7, 8 wide. Was kind of inside and then taken to a far outside, loomed, and then kind of flattened out a little bit. So second time back here on the dirt after several turf races and only the 4th cycle in the Claudio Gonzalez barn. Horse won for Gonzalez first time in the barn, but that was on the turf back in October. Interesting horse in here.
Yes.
Didn't know what to do with him. Munning, Speightstown. Off track, maybe he's a danger.
Well, and on top of that, it's an angle that I love of that. If a horse can go well on a good turf where that's just it's just basically a fast track with a little bit of moisture, or you either go by good turf or a soft or a wet fast turf. And those transfer pretty well to a track like we're going to be having out there today. So I love that. I kind of love that spot for this one here today as Dave Rodman goes 1-4-3-5 in race number 6. Race number 7, our penultimate race of the weekend here, is an allowance for the 3-year-olds and up, going 1 mile and 1/8 on the dirt, of course. Scratching the 5, Jack's Legend. Let's talk about Hey Chief, your top selection for Rudy Sanchez Solomon, Raul Mena. Let's take a look at that last win back on the 19th of October.
Yeah, I went back and looked at this race this morning, and I probably should have gone from like the half-mile pole home. You see the horse in the green on the outside? Blew past Hey Chief like he was going to win. Hey Chief was doing nothing on the rail, dropped back a couple of spots, but then when taken to the outside, this little guy's got some nice acceleration. Kind of I don't want to say he's a plodding type. It certainly doesn't have any early speed. So in a short field, he's going to have to rely on a decent pace in front of him. But I'm not sure whether he has to have it on this class drop kind of situation here out of the Dickey Small Stakes against King Cumbele, turf against Riccio. North Highland was doing good at the time. Super Accelerate in the running line, 3 back there as well. I really like that race on the dirt at Delaware in a short field just like this one, only 6 in there today. He has 5. It's a field of 5 with Jack's Legend scratched out of there. Who's going to the front? I mean, Sagrada Ray maybe from the rail, you would think.
I would have to guess so. Maybe Brother Brad.
Yeah, Brother Brad might spike it up a little bit. So, again, we'll see how that track's playing. Martini Martin, your top pick, had a great trip, but has won 2 races in a row. We spoke about this race earlier with a big 81 buyer number.
Right. Yeah. So you have to we kind of have to mix that a little bit with a little bit of his back form, which to me, yes, sure, is questionable enough. But I'm just going to give him one more chance. That effort on the off track that he had in a field of 6 was okay. Had to do some finagling within that race, so was able to handle himself a little bit on that type of track against a runaway winner.
There's one thing about the Mencia horses, when they get good, they kind of stay in form a little bit. And looking at Lucky, his sire, ran 103 buyer figure on the wet going. So, Martini Martin could indeed make it 3 in a row. I just thought he had kind of like a sweet kind of trip last time out.
Sure. So we'll see if he can handle a potentially tougher trip. Still comes in the field of 6, though, as Dave Rodman goes 6, 1, 2, 3. Let's get the voice of Maryland's opinion on the last race here. He definitely has some opinions in this maiden 12-5, going short 5.5 on the dirt for the girls at 3, 4, and 5-year-olds. Scratching the 3, free admission. Let's get right to it and talk about Gina Maya for Robin Graham. Gets the blinkers on with Rosario Montanez, your top selection.
Yeah, okay, so stats we didn't do 60 to 80 day layoff, 45 day layoff. We're going to do off-track dam stat for you. How about Lady Sevilla, right?
Yes.
Remember the dam of Gina Maya? Won 3 of 4 on wet tracks with $157,000 on the wet going. This mare has been out 8 times. She's never been on a wet track before. Had some early speed in most of her races. You see, she chased Poggi Bonsi, horses like that. The blinker's going on today. It's a now or never. She'll either love this off track or maybe just run like she did before, just kind of even paced around there or showing speed and then faltering and then somebody comes get her. But I'm willing to chance that maybe the pedigree will come through.
There we have it. So I like that here today for you. 12-1 on the morning line. We'll see how that comes by the time we get to race number 8. Post time is around 3:55. You also go with the number 4. Pumpkin. We do have a look-see at that last race, coming down to this 12-5 level for the first time.
Yeah, we're going to show you Pumpkin and Visual Illusion. Now, Pumpkin ahead of Visual Illusion. Pumpkin's in the blue. Visual Illusion's on the rail. I'll tell you what, Visual Illusion had every chance to get by Pumpkin with a great perfect trip. Couldn't do it. But Pumpkin battles on behind the eventual winner, Flitter there, who draws away, and Pumpkin kind of keeping pace nicely with the eventual winner. So I'm more of a Pumpkin fan than Visual Illusion in this spot here. The 5 Preakness Party's a first-time starter from the Damon Dilladovico barn. You picked this filly second. She's by Redeemed. 101 buyer figure on the off-track. The Dam Picnic Party by Bellamy Road. A win and a second from 3 tries on the wet track. Horse hasn't missed a beat in the workout pattern since October, right? Won't take much to beat this field, including the older mare, Gina Maya, if she can run just a little bit. And maybe the wet track will move her up too. Vixen's Celtic Banshee. Blinkers went on last time out. You're going back to her, Callie. I've had enough after that last race.
Fair enough. Sometimes they just react. Maybe they just need a race sometimes. And I'm honestly, I took a stab because some of them just open up and they wake up when they get to a different surface. We saw that first time out on the sloppy surface. It ended up being a good result. So maybe just kind of reverting back to those mental patterns. So
she's run okay on the slop. It's second time blinkers, maybe a different kind of blinkers, right? There are multiple ways to blink. And also dropping in for 12.5 lowest level yet. I just thought she should have run a little better, but then again, I'm sure she'll
We all thought she should have ran a little better,
right.
Which is why we're down from the 20 to the 12.5 there as Dave Rodman goes 2-4, 5-8. And let's dig in a little bit on what he has going on with his best bet and his value play. Let's start with your value play in race number 3 on the number 6, Storming Chrome, very fitting for today.
Yeah, I noticed Toledo goes to this horse, right? Daniel McKenzie first off the claim with Toledo. They popped before with Dancer's Melody, New York Panthers. We mentioned the blinkers come off. Horse been freshened. They jumped the horse up. I think they kind of like the fact that this 1 1/8 will help his cause. And he should be forwardly placed. I don't know if he's going to be faster than Victor's Valiant early in the race, but we'll get a thrill, I think. I don't know for how long, but hopefully all the way with Storming Chrome today.
And let's talk about your value play, or your best bet of the day in race number 5 on the inside, hoping for that gate speed and spicy margarita.
And well, we're going to really kind of speed up the races today, just to note if you're playing Laurel Park, because of the rain, the weather conditions. So happy hour maybe come a little earlier for you. The spicy margarita kind of raced off a positive speed inside from post 9 last time out. Had a lot of trouble 2 back, yet overcame that, not only to battle on the pace. I think she's faster than Shine Like a Diamond, but they're off. There goes Shine Like a Diamond in front. We'll find out if anything crazy happens. There's some eligibility for closers to run them both down there.
And David, thank you so much for joining us this weekend. We are going to have Keith Fustel back next week, but it's been a pleasure and it's been fun. It's been fun having you.
Didn't pick many winners yesterday, but it's been fun. Today we'll make up for it.
Exactly. There we go. Dave was ready for the races here on the sloppy surface, and we'll just get me offset and refer back to him in just a minute for more changes and scratches.
Good luck.